Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. We are just one sleep away from the first test match of the Border-Gavaskar
No
Trophy.
sleep, no sleep, no sleep. गरीब
No
इंसान
sleep,
सुना
the
नहीं है.
excitement is
No
real. It's
sleep, baby.
one of the top rivalries in our lifetime, I would say, in the last 20 years. It's been neck and neck, whether away from home, at home. India versus Australia is always a spectacle. I have with me Mr. Faiz Tahir. Today, the lineup we have, in terms of what we have for you, we have fresh off the press. We'll start off with that. And then we've got our fantasy picks. And then we'll talk about captaincy predicted 11s in the captain's corner. Faiz, how are you doing, bruh?
I am doing like मेरे को अगर सिगरेट वाला होता तो मैं पूरे पैका मार लेता था. आज इतना टेंशन हो रहा है. Like people are saying हाँ भाई अपनी टीम स्ट्रांग है, लेकिन भाई you cannot underrate this Australia side. मेरे को फुल टेंशन हो रही है. ऋतिक भाई कौन से वाले ऋतिक के टेनेंट वाले हैं. हेलो एंड थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग सर. प्लीज आपके सवाल आने दो. आज पूरा इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया आज ही हो जाना ऐसा दिख रहा. But yeah, man, press conference, a lot of juiciness in that. I know you're eager to talk about that as well. But नागपुर कल कैसा रहने वाला है. कल शहर पूरा आई थिंक गर्मी ज्यादा होने वाली है कल because there's so much stress. But I just can't wait for that first ball, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going to be very exciting. It starts 9:30 India time, so everyone keep your alarm clocks. I don't know how you sleep early or you sleep late. हम लोग मैं तो थोड़ा शाहरुख खान स्टाइल हूँ, देर से सोता हूँ तो yeah,
Which is not good. आपके टाइम के हिसाब से तो जल्दी है भाई. शाहरुख खान स्टाइल बोले तो
but you know
कैरन हो जाएगा मसला आपके साथ.
yeah, but Shahrukh Khan told us that sleep and food is for the weak, so we gotta wake up and we'll be up and awake for the match. Sir, will Shubman Gill play the match? Bhai, some sources are saying that I read recently, and I've heard on different news channels that he might not play. Surya Kumar might start ahead of him. But me, I think that Shubman Gill will play. That's just my
personal. And a lot of that also relies on what Rohit Sharma said in the press conference with regards to horses for courses kind of a thing. तो नहीं बोल सकते ऋतिक भाई. I don't know अगर वो खेलेंगे या नहीं. But we will get to हम लोग के predicted 11s रहेंगे कि किसको क्या लगता है. And आप भी अपना predicted 11 देखें. आपके हिसाब से क्या लगता है आपको कि कौन खेलना चाहिए मैच.
So with that, let's go into fresh off the press and talk about the press conferences today. हाईलाइट मेरे लिए प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस का हाईलाइट. तुम सुने नहीं सुने पहले बोलो.
मैं पूरा नहीं सुना. मैं पूरा नहीं सुना,
तो
सेम मैं
मिस
वेट
कर
कर रहा हूँ।
दिए वो एंड में बोला मैंने सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज तो मिस कर दिया हमारे ताल्लुक से बिकॉज हम लोग इस मैं इसके लिए वेट कर रहा था इसके लिए मैं इतना पंप था आई डोंट वांट टू मिस कोट्स आई रोट रिटन नोट्स ओके he says when we go to a when we go to a ground the first things we notice is the dining area number one number two the dressing room. Number three, the recovery stuff because we have to be here for a week. He said that और
Yeah.
यहाँ पे खाना अच्छा है रोहित शर्मा बोला यहाँ पे खाना अच्छा मजाक नहीं करो उन्हें बोला ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में I told you food is important for our captain so I am happy that the captain is happy with the food and he's happy with the whatever is there at the
Service.
ground yeah all the facilities at the ground he's very happy with it.
चलो एटलीस्ट इट्स गुड दैट दैट विल नॉट बी अ फैक्टर उनके गेम में, मतलब लगता है कि न्यूट्रिशन उनके गेम को एक्चुअली बहुत इट कंट्रीब्यूट्स अ लॉट टू हिज गेम प्रोबब्ली। अगर सही रात में बिरयानी नान नहीं मिली तो भाई सुबह सेंचुरी नहीं मारेंगे, बट चलो ठीक है, आई मीन इट्स
He
गुड टू नो
mentioned
कि
dining room first. I'm saying it in order. He mentioned dining room first, and he also mentioned खाना अच्छा है. तो important है हमारे captain के लिए. So I'm happy. But that's the for me that was the most important takeaway. सूर्या कल मौका मिल रहा है कल लग रहा हाँ मुझे भी ऐसा लाइक मैं सुने में आ रहा है मुझे तो लग रहा था कि शुभमन गिल ही खेल रहा मगर ऐसा सुने में आ रहा है दैट कि बिकॉज ऑफ ही प्लेज द स्वीप्स रिवर्स स्वीप्स Surya will get a chance. This guy I've been waiting for the last 2 days.
yesterday I think हम लोग 5 बार शाउट आउट दिए चिराग भाई को बिकॉज ऑफ केएल राहुल, एंड केएल राहुल के बारे में बात चलती कि मुझे लाइक कहाँ है चिराग भाई, अगर चिराग इफ यू वाचिंग कहीं से देख रहे हो प्लीज मेक अ कमेंट। बट बंदा बोल रहा है वाज बिलीव फ्रॉम द लास्ट डे ड्यू टू सम कमिटमेंट्स, कमिटमेंट वाला बंदा है, लड़कियां वॉच आउट, ही इज कमिटमेंट ओरिएंटेड, एक बार कमिटमेंट दे दिया तो मैं भी नहीं मुकर
नहीं
सकता टाइप से।
चिराग भाई आई थिंक कल से बिग स्क्रीन पे प्रोजेक्टर पे केएल राहुल का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस
आई
देख
थिंक
रहा
वही
है
इंतजाम आई थिंक वही इंतजामात करने गए पूरा वाइड स्क्रीन फ्लैट टीवी एंड पॉपकॉर्न चिप्स सब ले लेके आगे ऑलरेडी चिराग भाई।
yeah so
ऋतिक भाई आज गेम इज प्रेडिक्टेड 11, वी विल गेट टू दैट ऋतिक भाई, हम डेफिनेटली बोलने वाले प्रोफेशनल कमिटमेंट्स कहते आए हाय
so
दुखती रग।
the other takeaways that I got from the press conference, basically, he talked about doctoring the pitch because this word was being used and like fair enough, it's being doctored, okay. And he said,
अरे डॉक्टर नहीं भाई, पूरा वहाँ मुन्ना भाई के पेशेंट ना दिख रहे थे, देख ले बोल के पूरा नीचे ऐसे ऊपर झांकने रहे थे।
हो रहा doctor हो रहा pitch पे like
Yeah.
but what he said is of course what he's going to say is that you take it out of the
Yeah.
equation, just play it's the same for 22 players, you come out, you do your best and you try to win the game for your team. And also Pat Cummins has accepted that fact. He's like, listen, we're playing in India, we have to accept this challenge. Yes, it is a bit it's going to be tricky for our left-handers because they have kept that part of the pitch dry. If you notice, Faiz on both ends of the pitch एक square है which is dry, the rest is not rolled in water, so there's been selective watering, selective rolling and selective everything.
भाई यहाँ तक के मुस्तफा मेरे साथ एक इमेज शेयर कर रहा था, डेविड वार्नर राइट हैंडेड खेल रहे, हनुमान विराहरी से इंस्पिरेशन लेके राइट हैंडेड भी खेल रहे, जस्ट इन केस दैट कम्स इन हैंडी। And if Aksar proves to be like next level like Vinay has been saying and stuff like that, Warner शायद right hand batsman करते हुए देख सकते हैं अपन। But yeah, like Anshul bhai mentioning पंत वाला X factor लग सकता है क्या सूर्या, बट रोहित शर्मा मेंशन करे थे ये बात कि पंत का जो गैप है बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा है एंड ही वाज गेटिंग अस कंसिस्टेंट रन, लेकिन अभी जो है हिसाब से आई थिंक हमें खेलना है जरूरी है। सूर्या कुड एक्चुअली डू दैट, ही सेड कि सूर्या का अगर आप T20 रिकॉर्ड देखो तो ही हैज बीन बट अगेन दैट पॉइंट कम्स कि भाई तुम जब बोले कि तुम फॉर्मेट्स क्रॉस नहीं करोगे फिर क्यों ये बात। बट I still think it was a very good press conference from him. He looked very confident going into tomorrow. He was very like saying कि भाई जब हमारे को selection करने में इतनी परेशानी होती, you know that everybody is in good form and that's what's good to hear कि भाई परेशानी हो रही है हमें selection करने के लिए because सबका एक level ऊपर है अभी right now. तो वो भी अच्छा है कि everybody is in form and everybody is fighting for a spot.
My opinion is that agar Surya Kumar does play, that they're overthinking it a bit because then they're trying to go those quick runs. They want the reverse sweeps. It can work. I'm not denying that he's a quality player, but I'm just saying Shubman Gill has been in your test squad for a long time now. Apart from injury, he's played also in the 11. So just give him a chance in the middle order. If it doesn't work out, okay, fine, you can make a change for the next test match. But I think that Shubman Gill should be starting. I know you'd be questioning me. Then why is KL Rahul starting? He's vice captain, so I can't do anything
no,
about
I
that.
mean, देखो अगर मैं आपके पॉइंट पे जा रहा हूँ so like I somewhat understand where you're coming from because अगर I don't know how well Surya Kumar will play spin. I don't know how well he'll play.
No, he plays spin well. Like I've seen him in Ranji Trophy. He plays spin well. That's why they're considering him. Lekin again, it's that thing, right? Faiz, like, getting used to the test team. You're playing against Nathan Lyon now. You're not going to be playing against the domestic bowlers. It's going to be a different
Exactly.
challenge. And
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah.
Gill has played Lyon. Of course, in Australian conditions, but he's played, at the Gabba where there's a crack in the middle of the pitch on that day 5. He put on a
Yeah.
partnership
And
with
nine.
Pujara,
Yeah.
and that's why I think Shubman Gill can play spin very well as well. Like, I think he's a decent player of spin, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. So
Yeah.
I would like
But
to
the
see
only
Shubman.
thing I'm worried about Shubman Gill is that going cross bat and trying to hit a boundary or something, which maybe he might not do as much he was doing at the one day and T20 अब अपन देख रहे हैं across the line जाके उन्हें मारना चाह रहे थे, simple catch दे दे रहे थे. But yeah, I mean, I think I know where you're coming from. Sir, there will be very less chance for Gill to play. That's Ritik Bhai's opinion. I think he's
I don't
also.
think so. I think it's 50-50 कॉल. कलिश मालूम होगा, उन्हें बोला भी like 9 बजे मैं बता दूंगा, but 50-50 कॉल है ना. तो we would have got some indication that Gill definitely won't play. I think they're both in the mix. They both were batting in the nets. They both got good amount of time in the nets. So I don't think that it's going to be.
Yeah, I think it's just that last factor. Ke bhai, how, do we go with a safer option with Gill or do we go with a very different option with Surya Kumar and try and throw Australia को एक नया googly फेंकेंगे Surya Kumar is a batsman test match में क्या कर सकता है. Maybe they'll always wonder. So you never know क्या होने वाला है. What will Rohit do when he wins the toss? That is
Bat
the
first.
biggest. He
Bat
will
first.
go back first, try to get like a 300 total is what हमारे जो कल के पैनलिस्ट है अबरार अजीज डॉन हमारे जो हैं उन्होंने मेंशन कर रहे थे कि अगर 300 मार दिया then India is in the driver's seat. They'll have a comfortable start. So maybe
Pat
ideally
Cummins
batting
also
रहेगा.
mentioned it. He was asked this,
Yeah.
and he said bat first, and he laughed about it. But he also mentioned something important in the press conference. Is after he made the joke about the toss, he said, "Listen, India have also won a lot of games batting second. Like when they've lost the toss and have been had to bowl first, they've won games like that. And if you just pick that England series, recently in 2021, they did win a couple of games after losing the toss. So I don't think it's going. Of course, it will be a factor, but it won't be as big as we're thinking. Because India, if it's a ranked turner, if it's going to turn from ball 1, तो फिर आपको पहले minute से you have to be prepared, and whoever gets more wickets faster, it's going to be like that. It's just going to be whoever gets the more wickets quicker. That's it. आप drop करे catches, आप tail ender को allow करे runs मारने के लिए, आपको सजा मिलेगी. And there is talk about will it backfire in India because in Pune that's what happened in the last time Australia were here. This ranked turner backfired on them, but that is the lottery of a ranked turner. It can backfire. You're taking that risk, and that's why you say home advantage. It is a home advantage, but at the same time it is a risk as well, right? Because you can be bowled out. If a Joe Root is picking up 5 wickets on a pitch like this, then Nathan Lyon will have a very good chance as well. So I don't think it's 100% home advantage, but yes, you because of Ashwin, Jadeja and Akshar, they're willing to take that risk, so take it, man.
Yeah, 100%. Few more comments coming in. Please keep them coming. आंदो आज पूरा डिस्कशन होने का बैगन. भाई लोग मुझे समझ नहीं how can the pitch be difficult specifically for left-handers. हर ओवर के बाद साइड चेंज होती and right-hander basically change ends.
मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. तो 2 एंड्स होते हैं पिच के. तो जो लेग स्टंप है राइट हैंडर का, दोनों साइड्स पे लेग स्टंप जो है और लेफ्ट हैंडर का जो ऑफ स्टंप है, दोनों साइड्स पे वहां पे वाटर नहीं हो रहा, उसको ड्राई रखे उन लोग. सो दैट स्पेसिफिक स्पॉट इज कंप्लीटली ड्राई, सो द बॉल विल टर्न like properly, and that's how they've done it. If you see that whole pitch, it's all been watered, it's all been mowed and everything, but वहां पे आप बिल्कुल ड्राई, ना घास है ना कुछ है. वो स्पेसिफिक स्पॉट्स में, वो स्पॉट्स कौन से हैं? वो राइट हैंडर का जो लेग स्टंप है and उसका off stump. Also it will allow Ashwin to come and make some क्या बोलते हैं, marks and everything like that while he's bowling in his follow through. So that's the thing. It's like that. It's to target the Australian left-handers. That's what it is. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen specific left-hander को target करो. मतलब इतना हो गया कि Australia most likely is not playing Renshaw, who was supposed to be Cameron Green's replacement. They're going to play Peter Handscomb because he's going to be the right-hander. इतना हो गया because Australia know that कि भाई, it's obvious the pitch, if you look at the pitch, it's obvious it's going to turn. Left-handers' life is going to be hell tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm also in support of complete pitch advantage for home team, but it should be a uniform pitch. This is actually very much against sportsmanship. Look,
थोड़ा बहुत इसमें मतलब
no, it is doctorate. I'm not going to deny that, but again, how they doctor it, there's no rules written, right? If the like yeah, you say that like it's a said word key, you need to have a match 5 days, but it doesn't say that you can't play a game if it doesn't last 5 days, right? कोई rule नहीं, अगर rule डाल दिए आईसीसी वाले तो
और
फिर आप नहीं कर सकते वो चीज आप the ICC should take a stance and say कि you cannot do this, you cannot uncover one thing. Yeah, it is a bit of unfair, it is going to be
एंड
difficult.
ऑल्सो आई थिंक लाइक जैसा रवि शास्त्री आई थिंक आज बोले थोड़े टाइम पहले, आई डोंट नो कब बोले एग्जैक्टली, हम लोग को आज एक फॉरवर्ड आया था, उन्होंने भी वही मेंशन करे कि भाई एडवांटेज इसका भी रहने दो। ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाले भी जब आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया का उनके पिचेस देखो 3 दिन में मैच हो जाता है। आई मीन एवरीबॉडी विल यूज दैट एडवांटेज एट होम, एंड घर का एडवांटेज यही होता है कि भाई आप अपने हिसाब से घर सेट करते, दावत जब रखते हैं आप अपने हिसाब से मेन्यू रखते, तो आई थिंक दैट्स द थिंग। आप वैसा देखो
प्रज्वल भाई का जो कमेंट है मैं समझ सकता हूँ, बिकॉज
या
वो यही
या काफी गेम्स खेल रहे हैं, काफी
बहुत
साइकोलॉजिकल
ज्यादा
वॉरफेयर भी
कर
चल
दिए, लाइक
या
मतलब अब एक
या
स्पेसिफिक टारगेट कर रहे हैं एरिया ऑफ द पिच, तो it will be unfair on the other team because they have more left handers, you're targeting their weakness, so but again that's home
That's what you
advantage.
do. That's how you strategize, I think, Prajwal bhai, and I don't mind that. And I think ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए भी अच्छा चैलेंज है, वही वही घर पे खेल खेल के सेम बाउंसी विकेट्स पे, फास्ट पेस विकेट्स पे खेल के, अब आओ खेलो स्पिन, आओ हमारा भी देखो,
बहुत
मतलब
सालों के
पिच।
बाद इंडिया में कोई टेस्ट क्रिकेट में कंपटीशन देने वाला है इस बार। ऑस्ट्रेलिया अच्छे कॉम्बिनेशन है, अच्छे स्पिनर्स है, बट इंडिया सीरीज जीतेगा या ड्रॉ रहेगा, आई प्रिडिक्ट। एंड दैट्स द थिंग, ऑस्ट्रेलिया आल्सो हैव बीन प्रिपेयरिंग रियली वेल। वी जोक्ड अराउंड अबाउट द अश्विन lookalike coming and bowling,
लुक
like
लाइक
bowling like him. We joked around Warner batting right-handed, but these are things they're doing to
स्मार्ट
prepare.
थिंग्स।
उन लोग prepare कर रहे हैं भाई एग्जाम के लिए, they're doing their best, they know
आउट ऑफ
सब कुछ।
सिलेबस के सवाल में पढ़ ले रहे हैं ना, तो आउट ऑफ
Yeah,
सिलेबस
this
क्या
is
आने
going to be
वाला है।
high level math, man. High level math, physics. It's not going to be easy for
और
them, but they're doing their best to prepare for it, and they're not they're not leaving any stone unturned. They're like, man, these are the challenges. We're going to try to be ready for each challenge. Of course, it won't be easy for them, but I think Australia will give India the toughest challenge compared to any other team. The only other team who could actually, I don't know if they would either, but yeah, I
इंग्लैंड,
think
इंग्लैंड,
no, I wasn't saying England, but I think this
श्रीलंका।
on these pitches especially, it'll be Australia, because like Sachin bhai mentioned, they have spin bowlers, they have faster bowlers, they have batting as well, they have batsmen who can play spin as well. So I think
Yeah.
Australia are coming prepared. The only problem is the top two fast bowlers, which is their strength, are injured, and that is going to be a hole in the gap.
Hole in the brain. Yeah. And but one thing is also there कि जिस तरीके से ये पूरा हाइप हुआ है, पिच हाइप हो गई है, ये अश्विन का लुक अलाइक, इसका लुक अलाइक, I think Australia, the main thing for them, if they're able to, if they bat first or if they like both whatever do, if in the first 2 second बोलूंगा मैं, if they're able to hold their nerve and not like slip away, फिर इंडिया को बैक ट्रैक हो सकता है कि अरे भाई इन लोगों को ये चाल हम लोग चले, लेकिन ये चाल चली नहीं, एंड अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया के ऊपर साइकोलॉजिकल एडवांटेज आ जाता, तो आई थिंक इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑस्ट्रेलिया टू सॉर्ट ऑफ होल्ड देयर नर्व्स एंड प्ले फॉर द फर्स्ट टू डेज। अगर फर्स्ट 2 डेज में इंडिया के जो भी स्कैम्स बोल दो आप, या जो भी एडवांटेजेस नहीं फायदे में आए, देन इंडिया का खुद साइकोलॉजिकल डिस्ट्रक्शन हो जाएगा मेरे हिसाब से।
उसमें ये भी रहता है, like I was also thinking कि if India lose this, then will they stop the rank turners in the other matches? I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
Because you remember in Pune when Smith did make 100, he was dropped 3 times onto that 100. If India took the chances, it would have been a different score line. That Australia would have made a different type of score, and India probably could have had a better chance winning that game. So again, if India don't take the chances and Australia capitalize on that and they win the test match, I still don't think it will change the the preparation for the pitches in the other games. Delhi bhi wahi रहेगा, slow, low, it's going to turn as well. So I don't think they're going to change that. Virat kaptan hota to Gill
या राहुल में से किसको मौका देता? Yeah, that's a nice tough cookie question, I think, but I don't think Surya
दोनों को अगर विराट कोहली कैप्टन था, मेरे हिसाब से दोनों को खिलाता था और सूर्या को बिठाता था। मेरा थिंकिंग, अब आई डोंट नो, आप सवाल पूछ रहे हैं ऐसा कि मेरे पास जवाब है नहीं, मगर जो जवाब है मैं दे रहा हूं आपको।
Ideally, because he would trust Rahul because of his experience and Gill because of the way he played, and I don't think Kohli is an advocate, वो जिस तरीके से सूर्या पारी खेलता है, I don't think Kohli will advocate that in a test match kind of a situation. मेरे को भी
he might, he's an aggressive captain, but just like he does, he will back the technical players, I think, and the likes of
exactly. Definitely
Gill.
bat first. Yes, definitely bat first. That is pretty much what's going on. Does the toss? Will the toss be crucial for the match? I think, yeah. I mean, if we're looking at the pitch and right now how it's turning and stuff, it will be crucial. अगर first पारी में 200, 250, 300 तक भी बन गई, and then जैसा जैसा दिन जाएगा, pitch और वो होते जाएगी, and yeah, just be a.
The thing is, the thing is, in that my opinion is कि if it is turning from ball one, अगर खड्डा है, like it's going to turn a
Yeah,
mile, then I don't think it can get worse, the
make
pitch.
sense.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
just
probably.
turn it's gonna be bad anyway. It's going to just keep turning. Maybe it'll turn a bit more, but if there's already exaggerated turn on day one, then I don't think it'll get worse. But yes, if like the first day you see like the odd ball not turning, then or like a few balls not turning, and then yeah,
I mean,
it can.
I think अगर वन से टर्न हुआ तो ये होगा कि people can plan accordingly कि हाँ भाई ऐसा, I mean you can never plan against spin but like you'll just still be हाँ भाई we know what the pitch is going to be. अगर end towards the end surprise spin शुरू हो गया, like obviously it's just शुरू शुरू में थोड़ा अरे नहीं हो रहा एकदम से फिर then I think उससे उसके हिसाब से टीम को और जरा प्रॉब्लम होती है. अगर शुरू
Yeah,
से हो
but
गया तो maybe it will be better for a team कि हाँ भाई this is how we have to play and this is how it's going to happen. This is a very important thing for me as well. Hope series lives up to the hype because South Africa में हम लोग hot and spicy इतने बार बोले थे, but it didn't live up. But I think right now, चिराग भाई अगर अपन look at the context of Indian squad and Australian squad, भाई दोनों मौत डाल रहे हैं, दोनों actually बहुत fierce cricket खेल रहे हैं, and I just can't नहीं हो रहा भाई सबर.
for also a very important thing that I wanted to mention that Pat Cummins said in his press conference is that उन्हें Todd Murphy का तारीफ कर रहा था, and he said I don't mind that Lyon and Todd Murphy bowl the same thing, they bowl off spinners. So it shows me there's an indication that Todd Murphy will play tomorrow, and maybe he'll play ahead of Ashton Agar, or they'll play Ashton Agar, Todd Murphy, and Lyon. That means Swepson
Yeah.
will probably not play tomorrow. So that's very interesting to me that they're going to go with two off spinners, and like they don't mind if India have a lot of right-handers, they're still going to try to exploit that turn, try to get that ball to turn in, use back pad, use the leg slip, and take it from there. And I found that a bit surprising. I thought Ashton Agar would be the second spinner, but and Vinay thought it was going to be Swepson, but it looks like Todd Murphy is going to be your second spinner. And if they play a third spinner, then it will be between Ashton Agar
Swepson.
and
Agar
also,
because maybe of his batting ability वही हो सकता
yeah,
है.
Todd Murphy's parents are also flying in tonight, I think. So I read that as well.
टॉड
So I don't
टॉड
know.
अपन एयरपोर्ट जा रहे फिर एयरपोर्ट जाना है फिर. टॉड मर्फी बिल्कुल राइट हैंडर डैनियल विटोरी दिखता है सेम. डैनियल विटोरी के चश्मे डाल
Yeah.
के सेम. बढ़िया. आई
He's
मीन
a,
मम्मा
he
पापा भी आ जा रहे.
again uska average is better than Ashton Agar, but again experience nahi hai usko, right? That's the only problem that I have. Ashton Agar average is 40, but on a ranked runner he can average 6. I think he has that
But also
potential.
like then like what we have been discussing कि भाई अगर टॉड मर्फी के नहीं खेले अगेंस्ट में तो maybe that'll also be a surprise thing ना कि यार इसको
It
नहीं
will,
मालूम है.
it will, but the thing is, then
But एक
him
बात
and
समझ
Lion
में आ जाए.
for a
Yeah.
similarity ho jata. Again, I don't think it's a wrong decision. I'm just surprised with that decision that he's going with that mindset. Then that means that he's going to exploit that ball coming in. He's going to pack the leg side. It's going to be heavy leg side field for the Indian batters, and they're going to continue to relentlessly attack the Indian batsmen. That's what.
हाँ माइंड गेम चल रहा है भाई, ऊपर से नीचे माइंड गेम्स है यहाँ पे. क्या होने वाला है पब्लिक को भी समझ में नहीं आ रही. लाइक एक
मतलब
टॉड मर्फी आ जा रहा है
मेरे
और
को
सूर्या
यही है
का
कि
भी.
वो दो फास्ट बॉलर जो हेजलवुड और स्टार एक में से अगर खेला तो ये बहुत टाइट होता था मैच. आई जस्ट फील दैट over there again I can be wrong, but I just feel that's where Australia शायद मार खा सकती. It'll just be a few overs, but I think those are important overs. Will Scott Boland live up to that hype? Will he be able to perform to the levels that he did in Australia? Only time will tell, but that's the only thing I'm thinking about. And also don't forget Mitchell Starc can provide with the bat.
Quite will
He
bat,
played a
yeah.
match winning innings in Pune in that first test match. So उस हिसाब से अगर आप देखें उन्हें मंजावा भी खिलाड़ी है, बहुत एक्सपीरियंस्ड बंदा है मिचेल स्टार्क, तो आई थिंक they will miss him for sure.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. आई थिंक या मिचेल स्टार्क मैन, दैट गाय फर्स्ट ओवर ऑलवेज डेडली एंड उसकी पेस जिस तरीके से आती है. लेफ्ट हैंडर ऑब्वियसली अदर थ्रेट. आई थिंक अभी लेफ्ट हैंडर बॉलर नहीं है इन लोगों के पास इन द स्पेस डिपार्टमेंट, तो मुश्किल हो जाएगी इसके हिसाब से. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए लेफ्ट हैंड जो मिचेल स्टार्क प्रोवाइड करता है, आई थिंक वो वेरिएशन भी जरूरी है टू गेट इट इनटू द लेफ्ट हैंड, इनटू द लेफ्ट.
It's important to create that draft, तो वो भी नहीं रहे उनके लिए. So I think it's kind of a concern for me, but yeah, moving on, let's go into our tips and chips section and do our fantasy picks. You ready?
Yes, go sir.
ये एक्चुअली आखिरी में रखना था, बट या बोलो क्या है.
कोई बात नहीं भाई, आई अंडरस्टैंड है. आखिरी में सबसे बड़ा बम लाइक वैसा है, लाइक बट लाइक सेव द बेस्ट फॉर लाइक लास्ट बोलते अपन, लाइक यहाँ पे हर चीज बेस्ट है. तो मेरे फैंटेसी पिक्स कल के लिए बहुत. यू वांट टू 1-1 2-2, हाउ डू यू वांट टू गो विद दिस वन?
One player each.
वन प्लेयर ईच अगर मैं जाऊंगा तो आई एम गोना गो with the captain, I think Rohit Sharma has a point to prove. मेरे लिए रोहित शर्मा बहुत crucial है ये टेस्ट मैच में, because considering उनके ऊपर मीडिया का attention बहुत रहने वाला है in terms of खाना, dining room, number one, वो तो मेरा attention देगा, but like he has only played,
Oh, he
he's
said it.
captain
I'm
twice.
not exaggerating. He said it. Go and see the press conference, bro. That's what I was
He's
reading.
got 2 tests under his belt as a captain. This is the third one, और उन्हें काफी इंजर हो चुके हैं, 2 साल नहीं खेले टेस्ट मैचेस. तो मेरे रोहित शर्मा from India and from Australia, I think I'm going to go with Alex Carey. I don't know why. I feel Alex Carey might perform very well in India. I've seen him bat against South Africa, and he was in the West Indies series. Both level-headed batsmen है, बीच में आके he can be that balance, that figure that you're not able to get out. I feel Alex Carey might be that irritating point for us.
I'm very surprised with your picks, but I'm sure it can work out. Because Kyrie will also give you dismissals. My picks are very straight and forward and simple. It's Ravichandran Ashwin and Nathan Lyon. I ain't teams. It's very simple. इतना ट्रेन होने वाला है मेरे हिसाब से, तो मैं कोई रिस्क नहीं ले रहा.
थोड़ा out of the box जाना भाई. Fantasy tips and chips, fantasy में सोच रहे हैं.
कल तो खाली
in the rough है मसला.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the rough. I'm not taking any chances. I don't think the first test match, from what I've seen of the pitch, what I've heard, the conjecture that which is going on, what even the both team members have been saying, it's going to turn. So I'm not taking any thing. Of course, if you want to be a bit different, then you go Akshar Patel, or you go Jadeja, or you go Agar or Todd Murphy. That's going differential. But to go in the spinning line, if you're picking a fantasy pick a turner. If you want to pick a batsman,
सुबह उठ रहे और Todd Murphy नहीं खेल रहा, तो पैक हो जाएगा यार.
वो टीम देख के करना पड़ता. अब if you want to go batsman, you go either Smith or Labuschagne. Not because they're going to score hundreds, because they can bowl also. That is the most important part. उन लोग भी विकेटां लेंगे. So that's why you go with
in Rohit, we believe, bro. तो यहाँ पे I think.
I mean, it's a good call. Rohit has 100 on a ranked turner against England, so it's not a bad call. But
would have felt more confident as an Indian team supporter if Kohli was captain. Yeah, Kohli has a tremendous record, definitely, and as a test captain. But क्या बोल सकते, whoever is on the front, you have to support him. And Rohit Sharma in the last 2 series, ODI, T20, ODI का ही ले लो, obviously, because T20 तो Hardik Pandya, but he's done pretty well. He's changed his ways of thought. He looks more together with the team and focused. And yeah, I think I feel a bit confident with this Rohit Sharma that I saw in the T20 World Cup. मेरे लिए I don't mind him as a captain, because like Mustafa always says that उसकी जो cricketing ability है plus cricketing brain, it's tremendous, and we've seen that also in the ODIs, right? So I think उस हिसाब से मैं बोलूँगा कि I know Kohli was great, but it's always going to be a change.
I know where he's coming from. Look, ideally, if you're going to play Australia and India, the 2 people you want at the wheel is Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, because they're going to go full throttle. They're going to make life hell, right? But I think Virat Kohli's presence in the team is more than enough right now. He's going to show that passion. He's going to sledge the opposition. I think he has more permission now. He has more leeway to actually go and do stuff, show that passion, I think. So us hisab se, because he's not responsible now. He's not the captain. He doesn't need to answer any questions. He doesn't have to talk about the press conference, this, that. He doesn't need to worry about anything. He goes, plays his game, does his batting, and he can sledge the crap out of the opposition if he wants. So I think his presence is there. That's going to be very important.
ये इम्पोर्टेंट सवाल है. रोहित शर्मा का बड़ा पाव कैसा है भाई? मतलब मैं उसका बड़ा पाव तो देखा नहीं, बट अगर खाने की बात करें तो बड़ा पाव, या आई मीन भाई साहब को बड़ा पाव क्या है, और नागपुर में मशहूर, मेरे को आइडिया नहीं है. आई थिंक डॉक्टर पूरी कहीं कोने में दिख रहे हैं, ऑरेंजेस है, शेरा है. शेरों के साथ तो अपन खेल रहे, टाइगर के साथ तो अपन खेल रहे. विराट
कोहली खुश है, कप्तान साहब खुश है,
बहुत खुशी है. सबसे पहले बात उनका शिवांग भाई यही सीखे, खाने में क्या है, खाना का जगह कहाँ है, और खाने की जगह में सफाई है नहीं है, मेरे को ये होना वो होना, नान होना पढ़ना होना. तो आई थिंक ही इज हैप्पी. होपफुली वो ट्रांसलेट होके एक सेंचुरी में आ जाए कल. सो लेट्स सी. सूर्या चल गया तो अय्यर को कैसा मौका मिलेगा?
भाई अब इतना दूर सोचेंगे नहीं उन लोग. आई थिंक अब इंजर्ड है, यू हैव टू मेक अ रिप्लेसमेंट, और आप यही चाहते हैं कि जो आपका रिप्लेसमेंट है वो परफॉर्म करे. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट द कैप्टन एंड द मैनेजमेंट वांट. आई नो दिस क्वेश्चन इज देयर बैक ऑफ द माइंड. इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट, एंड आई एम श्योर अय्यर माइट इवन थिंक अबाउट इट दैट if Surya Kumar makes 100, he'll think, okay, my position is now not as secure. Lekin we don't think about it like that when you're picking the team. It's not in our hands, or it's not in the captain's hands or anybody's hands that Ayyar got injured. Now he's not there. You need a replacement, and if he performs, he performs. अगर तो आप उतना नहीं सोच सकते.
ऑल्सो
पॉजिटिव।
जिस तरीके से रोहित शर्मा बोले थे कि जो हॉर्सेस फॉर कोर्सेज जिस तरीके का पिच रहेगा उसके हिसाब से हम टीम फॉर्मुलेट करते हैं, नॉट बेस्ड ऑन कौन चल रहा है। ऑब्वियसली वो एक फैक्टर होता है कि भाई हाँ ये बंदा ऐसा चल रहा है,
हाँ,
बट
उन्हें
अगर
तो इंजर्ड
अगर
है ना, तो ये पक्का था
यार तो
horses.
पक्का था, बट आई एम जस्ट
He
सेइंग
is the
इवन इन द
horse
फ्यूचर,
for
अगर
this
अगर
sport.
फ्यूचर की बात कर रहे हैं, अगर फ्यूचर की बात कर रहे हैं अपन इन टर्म्स ऑफ लाइक इफ इट टर्न्स कम द फास्ट विकेट शॉर्ट पिच, आई डोंट नो 10 चीज, आई मीन शॉर्ट पिच बोल तो पहले से वैसे ईयर ही नहीं खेलेंगे, बट इन अदर वेज इट्स ऑलवेज देयर इज अ चांस, कहीं ना कहीं मौका मिलेगा। खुदा ना खास्ता सूर्या अगर इंजर हो गया, इट कुड बी वाइस वर्सा, ही कैन गेट हिज
बोले,
चांस, तो
वो तो
कुछ भी हो
बोलने
सकता
के
है।
बात है horses for courses. उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि we won't compare the different formats, ये वो सब हो
फॉर्मेट्स
रहा, सब हो रहा, compare सब हो रहा, सब चल रहा, तो I don't think
सब
वो तो
कंपेयर होने, तो भाई को खाना मिल गया बस से मेरे को।
yeah, but yeah, so for me, it's these spinners are my picks. Lion and Ashwin. If you want to go differential, go with the other spinners. I'm not
आई एम
picking
गोइंग विद
batsmen.
रोहित शर्मा एंड एलेक्स कैरी, आई डोंट नो
I
व्हाई
mean, it's a good
मेरा
call.
तो
Like
यही पिक है।
it's a risky call from a fantasy perspective, but if it works
या
out,
आई
then
नो।
it's a differential, right? Because I think everybody is going to pack their teams with spinners. Let's move on and let's go and into the captain's corner. We were already speaking about Rohit Sharma, but over here we'll give our predicted 11. So you guys can also in the comments give your fantasy picks and your predicted 11. So let's go into the captain's corner. Before I start, Chirag Bhai made a very good comment. It should be top four who needs to perform. They've been failing since long, and this is absolutely spot on. If you
बांग्लादेश।
see, like India's top four are an issue, and three out of those four are in the mid 30s right now. This is potentially their second last or last Border-Gavaskar Trophy. It might be their last. So I think they have to give it their all. They need to show, that they can still guts it out and they can perform, score the runs, and then that puts pressure. That takes off the pressure of the middle order, which is a bit weaker without Pant and Iyer. If you see so many of the times in the last 2 years, whether it was in South Africa, whether it was in England recently,
इंग्लैंड।
whether it was in Bangladesh, it was Pant,
बांग्लादेश।
taking you out. He scored a
Ayer
hundred.
and Pandya. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ayer
yeah.
hit like an 80 and saved us in that.
Yeah, Pant scored 100 in England when they should have won that test match, that last test match, the one-off against England in the summer. He scored 100 in South Africa. KL Rahul also scored 100 there, but yeah, you lost that game as well. So I think over here you need the top order to perform. Otherwise, you're going to put a lot of pressure on KS Bharat. You're going to put a lot of pressure on Jadeja, who's just coming back from an injury. You're going to put a lot of pressure on Gill or Surya, who are relatively inexperienced in that middle order. So I think it is very important for the top order.
Yeah, that was a
Uh,
very good shot.
yeah, Fez, you want to go with your 11? Or you
You
want me to go
start.
first?
I'll just talk. You're ready
ऐसे
with your
सर
11, I
मेरे
think.
बहुत बहुत होशियार आदमी है, तो मेरे लिए ये मेरा 11 है। आप लोग डिसएग्री कर सकते हैं बिल्कुल, और ये शायद ये 11 नहीं खेलेंगा, मगर मेरा 11 ये है KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma opening the batting. Number one down Pujara, two down Virat Kohli, three down Shubman Gill, then four down KS Bharat. Then I'm gonna go with Jadeja at 7, Ashwin at 8, Kuldeep at 9, and Shami and Siraj to be your fast bowlers. That's my thing. I think from this, what the difference will be is that I think Aksar will probably play and Surya might come in instead of Gill. But otherwise, yeah, this is my 11. This is the 11 I'd like to play. If you want my reasoning, it's because if it's not turning on day one, you lose the toss and it's not turning as much. The guy who can get you the most wickets is Kuldeep Yadav with his leg spin. If you noticed in Bangladesh, there was 6 spinners. 5 of them
Yeah.
were orthodox spinners, and no one picked as many wickets as Kuldeep Yadav. He picked up 5 wickets in that test match. They dropped him after. It's a different thing, but I think that's why I play Kuldeep. But I completely understand if they're going to go with Aksar. I have no issues with that. But this is just my 11.
Yeah, I think more or less similar is है अपन लोगों का, because I mean Akshar Patel I would bring in, I think वही है यार on the 9 o'clock call, जो
But
सुबह का।
Ishan Kishan, you want to play, right? Instead of
I wanted to play Ishan Kishan. Yes, I want. So I would go with instead of KS Bharat, I would go Rohit Sharma. I would go KL Rahul. I would go.
राहुल को ओपन करा रहे हैं आप?
Yeah, because मेरे को experience matters हो रहा है यहाँ पे. That's what. So
क्योंकि वही दिक्कत है।
KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Chiteshwar Pujara, and Chiteshwar Pujara, Virat Kohli third, fourth, and then I'd go with Ishan Kishan, Jadeja, Ashwin. I would go with Aksar. I know I love Kuldeep bhai and he'll bring a different thing, but अगर वो skid हो रहा बॉल, भाई जड्डू और अक्सर घुस के निकाल लेते पूरों को, भंगड़ा पाले टिन्ने बोल के निकल जाने
Yeah,
वाले.
yeah, it's
And
true.
like I'll go Shami Siraj. So I think that's
Also,
how I would look at it.
Fez, another important thing in that thing is that we don't know how fit Jadeja is. Yes, he bowled a lot of overs in for Saurashtra, but we don't know how fit he is. So maybe you need Aksar there to bowl the bulk of the
Look
overs,
of
and
the
Jadeja just chips in, and then you have Jadeja with the bat. Maybe he's going to play more of as a batter than a bowler. Maybe
bowler.
that's why they go with the two. So that could be a thing as well. Because in generally, we've seen test matches, four bowlers can do the job for you, especially on rank turners. But I think do you think there's any possibility of four spinners and Siraj
Four.
for vibes, like Ryan said?
Siraj for wife definitely. I don't think four spinners would be a bit too much. Then I think if you have who do you have Ashwin, you have Aksar, you have.
Kuldeep,
But
Aksar,
then batting, thoda, do you think batting would have been affected with that?
batting won't be affected. Like bowling will be affected. You don't have someone with the new ball. You'll have to bowl a spinner with the new ball. That is the only thing.
कर
And you don't
सकते
have
हैं.
to control this.
But मेरे
Batting
को
won't.
ज्यादा नहीं लगता कन्वेंशनल थोड़ा रखेंगे आई थिंक थोड़ा पेस का भी देखेंगे
Batting
कि
will be stronger, man. Kuldeep has Chalice also, so it'll be stronger.
Kuldip I can bat.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that's going to happen. थोड़ा conventional रखेंगे in terms of at least two pacemen. One question I had, like, do you think Jaydev Nutcut might get a chance? I know it's very off, but left-hander angle, he bowls a rather decent pace. Do you think there's a chance for
There's a
Jaydev?
5% chance because he was batting in the nets today and he was batting really well. So if you
And he
want,
does bat well. Yeah, he does bat
yeah,
well as well.
he was batting, and you're not going to play him as a batsman, you're going to play him as a bowler. But then, if you
Just
play, again, then it will cause issue for your right-handed batsman because he's going to create rough for Nathan Lyon. So I don't think वो भी सोचना पड़ता है.
yeah,
So
ये
I
सही
think
है.
he'll play, and not only that, I just feel that Shami and Siraj are your top two bowlers. So I think, of course, there's a possibility. Like I think that I won't rule it out completely. There's no chance for him to play. Maybe there's a 5% chance for him to play, but I don't think they're gonna go with Unatkat. If I'll be very honest with you, मेरे को ऐसा नहीं लग रहा कि Unatkat खेलने वाला है. Rohit is too defensive to play Kuldeep. He always wants batting as deep as possible. I mean, Kuldeep can bat as well. So, and Rohit Sharma did mention that Kuldeep batted well in the Bangladesh series. So, हमारे कप्तान has eyes all the time, even though he's not, he wasn't there in that series. He noticed
Eyes out of the plate. His eyes also move out of the plate. So yeah,
Yeah.
he does probably know who is batting. And I mean, I think 40 was very good. Also, he came in, दो तीन ODIs में भी आके, बीच में he hit like a 10 and a 15. So batting तो सीख रहे हो. I think he understood that this is the part where also I think ये एक selection का criteria भी हो गया थोड़े time में, as we see tail लंबा करो in terms of our batting. I think now a tailender has to sort of know how to bat थोड़ा बहुत.
Yeah,
So I think
and
it's become important.
again, you know what I think might be a difference, and it could give Australia the advantage in certain times, is that the likes of Smith and Labuschagne will provide with the ball. I think that's going to be a very important factor because there might be times where your spinner might not make the breakthrough, and you try something different, and they'll pick up wickets. And India don't have that. I know Shreyas Iyer is bowling the nets here and there, but they don't have anybody. And Rohit Sharma is the one, but I don't think he'll bowl again. So I think that's another thing that leans towards Australia's side, is that they have two batsmen who can actually roll their arm over and bowl decent spin. Three actually, if you count Travis Head. So I think that's another kind of thing that Australia has a strength in, because the more options you have, the better. And you say horses for courses, they have three part-time spinners there. What more do you want? Rohit की fitness 5 दिन की होनी चाहिए. केएल राहुल कैप्टन करेगा बीच में. आई थिंक रोहित ही करेगा. 5 दिन नहीं चलेगा अंशुल भाई. ये मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. 5 दिन नहीं चलेगा तो रोहित ही रहेगा उसमें. तो yeah, unless it's a flat surface, I think that Joe Root double hundred had really created this thing, like where they don't want to take any chance anymore, because that series you had to win 2-1.
Yeah.
Over here you have to win 3 or 3-0 or 3-1 or 4-0. So I don't think they're going to give any chance to Australia, and they know Steve Smith, Labuschagne are waiting for a flat track. They're not going to give them that. And Australia, again, look, they are practicing. They're going to give you a challenge even on these conditions. That's the risk you're willing to take. What you're doing is basically, by making these pitches, is you're backing Ashwin, Jadeja and Aksar to pick up wickets better than Lyon and Agar and these guys. That's what you're backing.
I mean, technically, your tactic is there, but you're just banking on their ability, and we've seen that proven.
Yeah. You're not looking at our batting can't handle it, this and that. We don't want our batting to handle it. We just want more wickets at a faster pace. That's it. Like that's what we're gonna do. We score 180. We get them all out for 150. That's going to be the thing. The whole strategy is around Ashwin, Jadeja, Aksar, and Kuldeep. That's the whole strategy. It's not on Virat Kohli. struggles against spin, Rohit Sharma struggles. It's nothing to do with that. So
But
yeah,
that puts so much more, like अगर अपन it's more so much more pressure on the bowlers to like perform because like
yeah,
a
but they
Naker
can handle it because Ashwin
they
has
can
done it,
handle it.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, if you see the Nagpur test against South Africa, was it in 2015? You know, he handled it then. He handled it in Ahmedabad. So I think it's
Ahmedabad,
going to be
yeah.
okay. What is acceptable average from opener of Indian team? KL Rahul is averaging 17 in the last few
17.
games. So I think that is acceptable because he's playing right now. But look, KL Rahul also first he's had hundreds in a lot of away conditions. At home he's had 100 if I'm not mistaken. He had 6 or 5 50s in the last Border-Gavaskar at home. But if you see, he has 100 in South Africa, he has 100 in England, he has 100 in Australia, I think in West Indies as well. So he is capable. You just need him on the big occasions
But
to
I
step
think
up.
there was 1.7, I think was Vinay only who mentioned कि भाई opening जो पेस बॉलर के अगेंस्ट अगर थोड़ा भी मोमेंट है तो मे बी केएल might struggle and we've
I
seen
don't
that
agree with
happen
that.
with him.
Vinay is saying that, but I think KL Rahul will struggle more against the spin. That's
Spinner,
what my
yeah.
feelings. I think
But
Shubman
I
Gill will
still
do.
think like now in a test match, knowing how KL Rahul is in a one day, if you give him a situation, I think he's a little bit more panicky in terms of if he knows there's a target to chase or
Yeah.
something. But I think in a test match, I think he's more complete, he's more
but तुम
focused,
नोटिस करो जब
and
उन्हें
on a
ये
yeah,
फास्ट विकेट्स पे जब खेलता है, उन्हें जब फॉर्म में है, फुल फ्लो में है, उसका
forward
पुल शॉट अच्छा रहता है, उसका कट शॉट अच्छा रहता है,
cover
ड्राइव
drive,
अच्छी,
yeah, yeah, drive
उन्हें
अच्छा
उन्हें
रहता है,
वो
yeah, yeah.
पीछे भी खेल सकता है. He trusts his game and like that extra bounce doesn't really, or the pace doesn't really
Or the bit
affect him.
bother
It's
him.
the big
He has a good
occasions.
height as well. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're just looking at his game in isolation, I know Chirag Bhai is going to get upset that I'm saying this, but I'm just trying to look at the positives for each of the players, and that's
No,
why
no,
I'm
मैं
saying I
आपके साथ मैं because I'm also the advocate against KL, but I say this because when you have a competition or in terms of like a target like a T20 game or ODI जहाँ वहाँ उनकी जरा हाथ में आई थी but test में ऐसा है कि he doesn't have to think about anything, he just has to play his game. So when he has that kind of freedom and of thought, he doesn't worry. So I think that's when he's going to sort of rise his game and sort of play. So let's see.
yeah, फैज ये ले लो कमेंट में, अब भी आ रहा हूँ एक सेकंड.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया को सीरीज हराए तो WTC फाइनल में भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में प्रेशर रहेगा इंडिया का. रह तो जाएगा लेकिन अगेन अंशुल भाई कंडीशंस चेंज हो जाएंगे. कंडीशंस विल बी मोर इंग्लैंड ओरिएंटेड एंड द ओवल पे आई थिंक व्हेन यू फाइनली बुक हो गई है तो इट विल बी द ओवल. तो वी नो कि भाई इंग्लैंड में मूवमेंट रहेगा. सो दैट इज वेयर द लाइक्स ऑफ स्टार्क एंड ऑल ऑफ दीस गाइस कैन रियली पैनिक इंडिया. दो इंडिया हैज अ decent record in England, but I still see that Australia could, and Australia I think will also have an Ashes after or before that I'm not sure, but they know how to play there and fast bowling उन लोगों की much better if we're looking at that. But yeah, I guess बात तो सही है, pressure तो बने रहेगा. मुस्तफा भाई के लिए ये comment, मुस्तफा if we check the series he scored 100 and literally did nothing in the next 5 innings. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. KL Rahul has done
Yeah,
nothing
I know.
except
He didn't do
score.
anything in the 5 innings, but I'm taking those innings in isolation, and I'm saying the way he batted in those innings, it's different for an Indian batter. Like like the extra bounce, the extra pace didn't really matter to him. He was playing good shots on those, on those in those conditions. And I think there was 100 again in England where him and Rishabh Pant counter attacked. I know that India still lost that game, but if you remember, those were these are
Decent.
foreign conditions. These are not conditions that Indians are used to. So if he scored hundreds there's something in him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
I'm only saying one thing. He's got a good amount of break. अब नहीं बोल सकते मैं क्रिकेट बैक टू बैक खेल रहा
नहीं
हूँ
कह
एंड
सकते.
सब बोलने वालों में आपकी शादी भी हो गई, मुबारक हो, आपको गिफ्ट आमी मिल गई, मुबारक हो, सब मिल गया. अब हमारे को एक गिफ्ट दो, ये जिताओ हमारे को, थोड़ा अच्छा खेलो. दैट्स ऑल आई एम एक्सपेक्ट. आई एम नॉट इवन एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम हिम बट आई एम इनडायरेक्टली एक्सपेक्टिंग. आई नो हाउ यू व्हाट वर्ड टू यूज हियर, बट हो रहा भी है, नहीं हो रहा भी, एक्सपेक्टेशन वैसा काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन है. बट केएल राहुल राइट नाउ हैज टू प्रूव बिकॉज़ ही वो 50 बना लिया उन्हें वो कंडीशंस में अगेंस्ट न्यूजीलैंड मर मर के एंड स्टफ लाइक. उधर टेस्ट मैच खेल दिया उन्हें वनडे मैच में. तो आई थिंक इन अ टेस्ट he has all the time that he wants, he has all the situations in his favor and
तो ये भी
he's
पॉसिबिलिटी
getting.
है. रोहित भाई आते टॉस में बोल के कि शुभमन इज ओपनिंग द बैटिंग एंड सूर्या इज बैटिंग एट 5. ये भी हो सकता है. अब ये
नहीं
रूल
नहीं हो सकता, वो नहीं हो सकता. क्यों बोल, तुम्हें वाइस कैप्टन है एंड आल्सो उसकी थोड़ी बहुत लाइक आई डोंट थिंक
तुम्हारे को
दैट्स
याद है
विल बी अ
एक बार
ह्यूज कॉल.
विराट कोहली क्या कर रहा था साउथ अफ्रीका में? केम टू द टॉस एंड ही सेड
हाँ,
Hardik Pandya is playing, Ajinkya Rahane is
एंड
sitting
रन
out. He was the vice
वो
captain. हो
परेश.
सकता है. That's why like I don't rule anything out. Anything is possible. It is unlikely, but it is anything
विराट की
possible.
फॉर्म इंपॉर्टेंट है, 1-2 सीरीज फ्लॉप है, ड्रॉप को चांस है राधे राधे की तरफ. या बट आई थिंक या विराट कोहली को काफी कैमरास रहेंगे. बट अगेन लाइक चिराग भाई सेड, ही इज नॉट अलोन. टॉप 4 पूरी यहाँ पे अंशुल भाई या रहाने. सो आई थिंक वहाँ पे जो मुस्तफा भाई बोल रहे थे अभी, But I think, yeah, I mean, Virat Kohli पे भी eyes रहेंगे, but it's important that all the top four score.
Yeah, I think the guy अगर आपको जिताना है सीरीज वो अश्विनी है. Like I think with the ball, and then he can play some defining roles with the bat also. We saw that in Bangladesh. तो मेरे हिसाब से Ashwin is the main guy. You know, Abrar is just joining us. He picks him in every single fantasy thing we have, even if it's T20 one day IPL, it doesn't matter. This time I'm picking Ashwin as well because I think Ashwin is going to be your guy. He's going to be the main guy. Virat Kohli, yes,
I
it is
mean,
important. It also it is important for him to score the runs. You know, you need that. इतना बड़ा खिलाड़ी है, you want him to get 100, you want him to score big runs. Again, it also depends on the pitches. It depends on, like, अगर उसको ड्रॉप करते नहीं करते, उसको चांस मिलता नहीं मिलता, कैसा फॉर्म में होने रेड बॉल के अगेंस्ट, all that matters. But at the end of the day, if the pitches are going to be like this, where it's going to turn from ball one, then
there's nothing much you can do.
you don't really need to expect that much. You just need him to score those 50s, 60s. Those are crucial. Like, and when he's batting, you don't want him to get out first ball. You want him to score some runs and put Australia under pressure. And I want to see the aggressive Virat Kohli. I think now he doesn't have the responsibility of captaincy. I think उन्हें आगे निकल के मार सकता है Nathan Lyon को. You can use his feet. He can try to pull out that sweep shot, do something a bit different, and put pressure on Australia. But ये विराट नहीं है भैया, ये रोहित है. किस बारे में बोल रहे हो ना?
About drop chancing means Virat Kohli, I think, is more bold in making decisions where he dropped Rahane. I don't think Rohit might do that, is what I feel Don is saying.
Yeah, I know.
But I think also, like, yeah, it's important to, like, Virat Kohli के लिए also, I think it's important that he performs to an extent at least, because देखो बांग्लादेश में ऐसे conditions नहीं थे. I mean, it wasn't a complete rank turner जिस तरीके से इंडिया में इतना बॉल पर, but he did, ताइजुल इस्लाम टेंशन में ला दिया उसको लाइट लेके निकाल लिया 2 बार भी. तो आई मीन वो चीज आप नहीं भूल सकते, गिवन द फैक्ट ओडीआई टी20 में थोड़ा सा रिडेम्पशन, थोड़ा सा रिजरेक्शन. बट यहाँ पे आपका सिचुएशन है कि एक्सपेक्टेशन थोड़ी बहुत बन जाती है अगर आप इतने, यानी इसमें भी क्या है, टेंशन नहीं थी उनको, कैप्टन नहीं थे. सो आई थिंक वो सिचुएशन.
एंड उसमें भी आप नोटिस करो, ये जो रैंक टर्नर्स होते हैं उसमें पंत आके निकल के मारता, दिस गाइस अय्यर इज गेटिंग रन्स, व्हाई इजंट विराट कोहली गेटिंग रन्स? तो सवाल तो उठेगा उस पे इफ ही डजंट परफॉर्म. सो राइटली सो, यू वांट हिम टू स्कोर रन्स एंड यू वांट हिम टू स्कोर दैट बिग 100. And for me, it's about trying to rotate the strike, the way he starts, getting off the mark, how he approaches the spinners as well. If he's looking in good flow and everything, he'll get the runs. It's just about how he starts. If you get Virat Kohli in the first 10-15 deliveries, then yeah, that's the best time to get him out, basically. England 69.2 over 465 runs practice match versus New Zealand. Mr. Harry Brook,
baby.
Dan Lawrence, I think, scored a 80 odd, and I think it's a pink ball warm up game, so England having a good time there. New Zealand में उठा होता फैज, वहाँ पे पहले 2-3 दिन इतना unbelievable seam swing होता. Day 4-5 are the flatter days. So it is completely opposite, the subcontinent in that sense. So that's also a good series. We will look forward to that. We have the Women's World Cup fest. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be doing the preview up after we'll first do the day one preview. I'll come in and do the women's preview. Looking forward to the World Cup in South Africa. Also, bhai, PSL shuru ho raha. Babar bhai or Shoaib bhai switched jerseys fest. What are your thoughts on that? One is now playing for Karachi and one is now playing for Peshawar. They have switched roles.
Yeah, I mean, I think Karachi से हटके it will be hard for Babar, because घर के बाहर खेल रहा है अब तो उन्हें.
घर तो उसका लाहौर में है.
लाहौर का है, कराची का नहीं.
नहीं, लाहौर
का है. कराची का लाहौर का. शर्ट बदल दी.
He's played in Karachi, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But Shoaib Malik, यारो, credit to him, 40 years old है, क्या जबरदस्त बांग्लादेश प्रीमियर लीग खेला है. Whatever you say, I mean, BPL उतना कोई देख रहा नहीं था, but he had a few good innings in the BPL as well. And चिच्चा खेलने वाला, चाचू खेलने वाले, चाचू को देखना है. चाचू is next level.
Chachu's a gladiator, bro. He's playing for Quetta, baby.
ग्लैडिएटर है. रेडिएटर पे बैठने के दिनों में ग्लैडिएटर बन रहे हो, लेकिन man, that guy is something else. चाचू अलग ही है. But PSL में, I mean, PSL, I think मैं पहली बार फुल देखने वाला हूँ PSL का. पूरा फॉलो नहीं करांगा, but yeah, this time I think I'm going to watch the PSL just to understand कि क्या होता वहाँ पे. But then we have women's IPL, I think. So women's IPL, PSL, I don't know. देखना पड़ेगा.
I think the Women's World Cup will be going on at that time, and then then the PSL Women's IPL might later thing. But right now it's going to be the women's World Cup starting. That's going to be good as well. I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to see some good matches over there.
या वहां
Wahab
को
को
तो पेल
खेल
दिया यार,
मुश्किल
चाचू
चल
ने
रहा
उसको बोला पॉलिटिक्स जाना है तो कुछ जल्दी जा पॉलिटिक्स, यहाँ पे मत जा
है।
पॉलिटिक्स, एंड ही जस्ट स्मैश्ड हिम.
रदरफोर्ड इंजर्ड मस्त खेल रहा है 15 में 35। अच्छा वो आईएल टी20 का आज क्वालिफायर है, और वो नहीं
या
वो भी है एसए टी20 का सेमीफाइनल भी है। अब रदरफोर्ड का कौन था बोल रहे भाई, हाँ उसको आईएल टी20 का ही बोले आप।
आई-20 का जो मारा, छिक्के मारा, देखो
नहीं,
5 6 जो मारा था, 5 6
चार
मारा था आई
छक्के
थिंक.
चार छक्के मारा अभी अभी सेकंड लास्ट ओवर खत्म हो रहा। लास्ट ओवर शुरू होगा, देयर 168 फॉर 6 द डेजर्ट वाइपर्स। ये मैच दुबई में है, फर्स्ट क्वालिफायर। द
और भाई यहाँ इंडिया में हर चैनल पे आ रहा, फिर भी नहीं मशहूर हो रहा है. आई डोंट गेट इट. इंडिया में ऑलमोस्ट एवरी फोर्थ चैनल इज शोइंग द आई-T20
That's why
डब्ल्यू
it is famous, bro, because the broadcasting rights. Yeah, David Miller says the rain and tacky conditions is part of the reason. Shamsi comes in for Villas, fields 170-80 is par. Hopes he gets them out. So this is basically Par Royals have won the toss and like to bowl first versus Pretoria in the first semi-final. Tomorrow the Sunrisers are playing
टेंशन.
Super Kings. भूल जाओ भाई, नहीं जीतेंगे, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा। सुपर किंग्स आते कि मेरे को परेशानी होती है always, but I hope
बट
Sunrisers.
सुपर किंग में धोनी नहीं है तो टेंशन नहीं है.
Faf is the South Africa Dhoni, man. He's there
Right.
leading from front, Mr. Faf WC. Yeah, Faz, your prediction for day one. Tell me who's going to win the toss. How many runs are going to be scored? How many wickets are going to be taken?
I feel Rohit Sharma had a good history with tosses. I think he'll win the toss, and initially he'll forget what he has to do. And then I think उन्होंने भूल के वापस याद आएंगे कि तारे जमीन पर उनका जग उठेगा, and probably bat. India might, yeah, India will take it through the day. I feel India बहुत ज़्यादा expect, maybe towards the end of the session अगर turning के ऊपर है, अगर ज़्यादा turn हुआ तो session तक pack. So
Yeah.
275 ऐसा कुछ रहने वाला है.
So you're saying India will be 275 for?
I think like 6 or 7.
275 for 6 or 7. We're all anticipating a rank turners here. I'm saying India will be 28 for 3 at the end at stumps.
How much? Sorry, how much?
Yeah, India will be 28 for 3 at stumps.
28 for 3.
Yeah.
अच्छा, for second inning. First inning क्या बोला भाई?
Australia will be all out 160, 150 in the morning.
If Australia are watching this, bhai, abhi join the chat. But they were saying
Yeah.
128 all out. I'm not sure अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया से खेल रहे या किससे खेल रहे, but yeah, I mean, KL Rahul first ball duck. क्या है चिराग भाई, next level चल रहा है.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया वर्सेस इंडिया एशेज से ज्यादा व्यूज ले जाएगी भाई, वो तो वैसी ही लेती है
100%.
बिकॉज आप
और
इंडिया खेल
अंशुल भाई व्यूज ही नहीं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया की भी ले रही है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया के प्लेयर्स की भी ले रही है, क्योंकि वार्नर, स्मिथ एंड आई थिंक इवन कमिंस, इन लोग बोले ये एशेज से बड़ा है हुई हमारे लिए, एशेज को लाइट ले ले, वो एशेज जीत चुके हैं ये है, बट ये 16 साल में नहीं जीते, तो और खुन्नस है.
बोलना पड़ता है ये सब। एशेज जब आता है उन्हें फिर से बोलता है, they'll get a Jofra Archer lookalike in the nets and they'll start saying this is going to be our biggest frontier. They'll always change series to series. Every test
I mean,
series
but
is important.
if you look at it, like they've not won 16 years. I think that's like
You tell
something.
me this, right? ये हो जाता सीरीज अब ओवल में, they have the World Test Championship final potentially versus India, and then they have against England Ashes series. What is he going to
Ashes.
say? He's going to say this is the biggest test of my life as captain. This is what he's going to say.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think given the situation right now, like in terms of winning
वही तो है,
percentage and stuff, वो
वक्त के
हिसाब से
साथ
बोल रहा हूँ
बहुत बदल जाता है भाई, वक्त के
But
साथ
like
सब
I
बदल
think
जाता है। ये
16
तो
साल
धोनी
के बाद जीतना, देखो 16 साल के बाद जीतना और एशेज ऑलरेडी जीत चुके, तो एशेज जीतना उतना लाइक वाओ रहेगा
नहीं,
ऑब्वियसली,
but
बट
ये
16
team,
साल का जो गैप है वो बोल
but
रहा
in our lifetime they retained the Ashes, but they haven't won a series
Won
in
it.
England. I think
In
they
India.
haven't won a series. No,
In
in England
England.
either. I'm saying.
In
Yeah.
England they've not, in Australia they've
Yeah.
done, yeah.
I think the last time they won was like 2001-2, जब Nasser Hussain was captain. Yes, they've retained the Ashes. They're 2-2 under Tim Payne, but they haven't won a series there in a long time. So
बेचारा
यार बोलने
Tim
क्या
Payne.
बात है सब.
He's the only one in pain.
So the last time Australia have won only 2 Test series in India. Can you tell me which years? And who was the captain?
The last time India has won? Sorry?
No, the Australia have only won in India 2 series. So this is a question for everybody, not just you.
2004 में एक जीते.
Yes, and who was the captain?
Steve Waugh, I think.
No.
Steve Waugh.
So over there, it was a stand-in captain for the first 3 tests. It was Adam Gilchrist, and then Ricky Ponting, I think, came in the last. So Adam Gilchrist has won IPL and he's won a T20, a great captain. And do you remember the first time Australia won a series?
I think 2001?
No.
2001. I'm not sure. Then I can't recollect.
1969 under Bill Lowry.
69, huh?
1969.
69 में 69.
So yeah, so there's a huge gap over here. ये भी अब gap हो गया
भाई
2004 से
69 तो मेरा लाइफ टाइम नहीं था, तो मेरे को नहीं, मैं बाहर से जाके पूछता था.
1969
69
के
में
बाद
तो मैं
अब
नहीं था,
मेरा भी
बट
तो
या
थोड़ी लाइफ टाइम था भाई
नहीं नहीं,
मैं भी
अगर
मैं आपसे
इन
छोटा
अवर
हूँ उम्र में
इन अवर लाइफ टाइम नहीं, आप बोले इन अवर लाइफ टाइम में, हाँ इन अवर लाइफ टाइम तो याद है जो जीते थे, बट ये मैं शायद क्या बोलते हैं, प्री बर्थ या प्री बर्थ जो बोलते हैं ना.
1969 Bill Lowry was the captain, one of my favorite commentators, bro. I love that guy,
बिल
man.
और
Bill Lowry.
बिल
Bill
बिल
Lowry
कहाँ से
when
ला
he
रही,
the
लॉरी चढ़ा
KL
दो.
Rahul will get first ball duck. England नहीं बोलती ये बात इंडिया आके. भाई देखो लाइक सबका अलग अलग है, बोल देंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम आपके लिए, बोल देंगे इंग्लैंड भी बोल देंगे. Look, everybody for India for and also England have won in India recently. They won in
या
2012-13, right? They won there and
या
they won a ranked runner उन्हें पनेसर और स्वान खा लिए इंडिया को.
मानेसर हो या
सचिन
स्वान.
सचिन सब थे, खा लिए थे उन लोग. एंड केविन पीटरसन came out and scored 100 on a Turner. So that was probably one of the greatest innings of Test cricket that I've seen on TV. That was incredible. So England have won it there on very in challenging conditions. अश्विन ये सब खेल रहे थे, बच्ची भी था शायद, उन्हें आगे बढ़ के दे रहा था केविन पीटरसन. So England have done it. Australia have not done it in a long time. So maybe this is why this is why they're saying something like that.
They need to do it more often, I think. But India has to do it tomorrow. India कल करना चाहिए, and I can't wait. But man, मैच ओवर होते जा रहा है. Like अभी क्या 11.5 घंटे बाकी है. I mean, I think एक टाइमर लगा लेना चाहिए. Like 11 hours to go, 10 hours to go, 12 hours to go.
12
Uh,
घंटे शायद अभी 12 आवर नो 12
9:30
आवर्स.
हो रहा है ना, 9:30 हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Starting
हाँ
at
तो
9.
9:30 शुरू है आपके टाइम से.
9:30 है. अच्छा, then
हाँ.
yeah. Okay.
9:30.
Yeah,
12
9:30 है, 9:30. 9 को इंस्पेक्शन है, दिमाग में इंस्पेक्शन फिर रहा था. 9 पिच रिपोर्ट जो भी
9
बोलते
को
हैं.
टॉस है, 9 को टॉस है.
9 को टॉस है, या मारने से
मार्नेस के
कितने
कितने
टॉप
कैचेस
कैच.
ड्रॉप हो गए
ओह, अच्छा सवाल है.
भाई. मेरे को ऐसा
मैं
दिख
तीन
रहा.
तीन देखूंगा. मैं 3 दूंगा. लाइक एक स्लिप में छूटेगा, एक स्क्वायर में छूटेगा, आई थिंक एक कॉटन बॉल छूटेगा.
बैक पैड भी एक छूटेगा.
बैक
4 ले
पैड
लो.
4 ले लो.
मगर एक इनिंग में या पूरा टेस्ट मैच बोल रहे हैं आप?
गुड क्वेश्चन. आई थिंक नहीं, एक इनिंग तो खेलने दो पहले. आप तो 128 पे आउट कर ले रहे पूरों को. आई डोंट नो क्या होगा, बट या आसान वाली.
Bro, this is just my imagination. I think that इतना होने वाला है, ख्वाबों में भी इतना इतना ट्रेंड होने वाला है कल. मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा.
आई थिंक आज बॉयज सोए तो यहाँ से यहाँ हिलने वाले, नींद में भी इधर से उधर, इधर से उधर, उधर से उधर
It's
हिलने
just
वाले हैं.
the build up and everything, the way like the talk is, the photos that we've seen, whatever we've read about this match is this basically.
Yeah.
It's about this. And look, various people have various opinions. Ian Chappell said you should produce pitches that last 5 days. Ian Haley was more aggressive, saying that make fair pitches, otherwise it won't be a fair game or whatever. He said something else. Ian Chappell said something a bit different, less.
I think वो जमाने के हिसाब से भी आता है. I think वो thought, I think वो भी होता है कि like with the times, like Ian Chappell and the guys probably played traditional cricket. अभी जिस तरीके का context change हो गया, modern game approach, attention spans थोड़े viewers के भी कम हो गए, in terms of players का भी जल्दी इतना schedule रहता है. I mean that comes from their times maybe, but I think even knowing you, but you enjoy these kind of spicy pitches, something.
I love it, bro. 2 दिन में टेस्ट मैच खत्म
Yeah.
हो जा रहा, हर बॉल विकेट. अब मैं फर्स्ट मेरे को तुम्हारे को एक बात बताओ, साउथ अफ्रीका और ऑस्ट्रेलिया का कितने दिन में खत्म हुआ? तुम ही देखे पूरा टेस्ट मैच देखे तुम?
3 दिन में हो गया. I mean 3
तीन
दिन
दिन
में हो
नहीं
गया
भाई,
था.
2 days in one
2 days
session.
in,
3 दिन कौन सा हुआ? 2 days,
मतलब
2
शुरू
days
तो हो
में
गया था
खत्म हो गया था, राइट? 2 दिन
yes.
में खत्म हो गया था टेस्ट मैच. कोई कुछ बोला, कोई कुछ भी नहीं बोला. तो यही है it's just like.
But थोड़ा वो भी था कि yeah, like South Africa should have turned up with batting types. I mean there's
हाँ
always
तो
that
फिर आप
ifs and
बोलो
buts.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया शुड
Exactly.
टर्न अप इफ इट टर्न्स. वैसा थोड़ी होता ब्रो. दैट पिच, ऑस्ट्रेलिया आल्सो स्ट्रगल्ड ऑन दैट पिच. रबाडा खा लिया था. ही हैड देम what, like 20 for 4 or 20 for 3 that time when they were chasing 60 runs. So it's not that Australia weren't struggling, they were also struggling on that pitch. That pitch was very difficult to play. मगर उतना डिस्कोर्स नहीं रहता. 2 चीजें रहता है. आप इंडिया में खेल रहे हैं, आप इंडिया के अगेंस्ट खेल रहे हैं, पब्लिक बहुत रहती. there's a lot of interest in that, so this discourse is there. I'm fine with it, man. Because look, if there's anybody who has a control, is the ICC who needs to come and stop it if they want to stop it. Otherwise, then anything is fair game.
I don't think anyone will involve in this. I mean, it is, you can never. I mean, आप कुछ भी कर लो, probably best of the best pitch. Like at the end of the day, how it turns out, ऐसा भी हो सकता है फ्लैट पिच बनाओ, टीम डजंट टर्न अप, they'll get all out 18 like 800 120. It's just like on that day with that situations, how they play, how they pan it out,
Hmm.
अल्टीमेटली मालूम होता है. एंड या आई थिंक उससे ज्यादा कुछ कर नहीं सकते आप. रोहित की टेस्ट कैप्टेंसी का टेस्ट बिल्कुल है. ज्यादा टेस्ट मैचेस उन्होंने नहीं कैप्टन करा इंडिया. आई थिंक विराट कोहली भी रहने की वजह से थोड़ा एडेड प्रेशर होगा उन पे, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली उन्होंने जो सिचुएशन छोड़ के गए थे इंडिया को इन टर्म्स ऑफ हिज कैप्टनसी इन टेस्ट अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया, फिनोमिनल रिकॉर्ड है. तो आई थिंक वो भी थोड़ा एक एडेड डिसएडवांटेज नहीं, बट एक चैलेंजिंग के जैसा रहेगा रोहित शर्मा के लिए. प्लस वो आई मीन 2 साल के बाद टेस्ट खेलने वाले, तो ऑब्वियसली उसका भी एक टेस्ट रहने वाला है, उनके खाने का टेस्ट रहने वाला है, उनके बीपी का टेस्ट रहने वाला है. बट या आई थिंक काफी टेस्ट. एंड आई थिंक इक्वली अगर अपन दूसरे साइड में देखें, पैट कमिंस के लिए भी बड़ा चैलेंज है. पैट कमिंस भी सिर्फ 13 टेस्ट अभी तक ही इज कैप्टन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, एंड साउथ अफ्रीका में विक्ट्री मिली, वो भी घर पे था, एंड वेस्ट इंडीज के साथ भी घर पे ही था. But this is the first, I think, away thing that he's going to be playing at, and it's a very big one because वही 16 साल का gap है, and he would definitely want to be the first captain probably to win this.
Yeah, and Australia's predicted 11. Let's just talk about that. We talked about the India one, so Australia's
I
predicted
think
11.
Usman
Khwaja and Warner
Khwaja,
opening the batting,
one,
one down Labuschagne, two down Smith. Then we'll go
Travis
Travis
Head,
Head,
Alex Carey.
then Alex Carey, and then Peter Hanscom. That's what we're thinking right now. Then you'll have your bowlers will be, I think, Pat Cummins, Boland, Lyon, and then
Nathan
it's either
Lyon,
Agar or Todd Murphy, I
Todd
think.
Murphy. I think it'll be Todd Murphy. I don't know why there are more speculations around Todd Murphy.
Because Pat
Agar,
Cummins mentioned it, right? Like
yeah.
like he didn't say anything, but like the way he was talking, it was like he was leaning towards Todd Murphy. भाई अगर सच अगर ये कराची वाली पिच अगर सोच भाई अगर बोलो फिर से फैज जी.
भाई अगर सोचो, अगर ये कराची वाली पिच हो, वो सारे बॉलर न्यू बुलाए नए पैट जाएंगे. न्यू बॉल, वो लास्ट की लाइन में कुछ समझ, बट इफ इट वाज दिस वाज द कराची वाली पिच, हाँ, Boland or Lance Morris. I think it'll be Boland because he's played a bit more first class cricket when you compare it to Lance Morris. But उन लोगों का दोनों का एक्शन बहुत सिमिलर है. I think cricket info या किसी पे एक इमेज आया था, दोनों ऐसा like they both have the same kind similar kind of thing. But I feel it will be Scott Boland based on recency. Lance Morris has the speed in him, but I don't think you require a lot of speed in these kind of conditions. So
It
yeah.
will be Scott Boland, I think, as well. Scott Boland will start off. I don't think they're going to go with Lance Morris right now. They'll go with Boland and assess situations from there. The only thing for me is Australia, will they play 2 or 3 spinners? Right now, it looks like they're going to play 2 spinners because they do have Head, Smith, and Labuschagne who can also bowl. So I think they're going to go with that option. I think they're going to go with 4 bowlers, Australia.
What if they go with 4? What if they go with 4 spinners? That'll be crazy.
They are technically anyway, right? Like
Yeah.
if you count Smith, Labuschagne,
Smith,
if
Labuschagne,
you
yeah.
see the ball is turning thing, you will see,
Smith
line opening the bowling. You will see Travis Head from one end. You will see what's his name, Agar from another end, or Todd Murphy. It'll be like that only.
वार्नर भी डालने कम नहीं है भाई वहां पे, तो वार्नर भी डाल
वो
सकता.
ऑप्शन है. रोहित शर्मा को डालना जरूरी है भाई. मैं बोल रहा हूँ तुम्हारे को उन्हें बॉल के साथ भी कर सकता. He can do that. First, you remember that all important the Kolkata Test match that we always talk about, Eden Gardens. Day 5 चले गया था partnership के बाद. Who is the guy who came and broke the partnership? Bhaji did crazy, but who is the guy who broke the partnership? I think Gilchrist का wicket लिया था, if I'm not mistaken. But he broke the, or yeah, Hayden का लिया, मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा. But he came, broke the partnership, picked up 2-3 wickets quickly and turned the whole game around and allowed India to win. Who was that bowler?
Who was Tendulkar?
Yes, sir. So that's what I'm saying. It is important for part-timers to also roll your arm over in these conditions.
Yeah.
But any conditions.
तेंदुलकर वाज लाइक कभी कभी आता था, लेकिन गंगुली ये चीजें करता था यार. गंगुली आके कितने विकेट उठाता था यार इन द मिडिल. कभी कभी आके यूं बॉल स्क्रैम्बल करके फेंकता था उन्हें. बट ही यूज्ड टू कम एंड गेट विकेट्स, एंड आई थिंक यू नीड दिस आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स, आउट ऑफ सिलेबस, नेवर हर्ड ऑफ काइंड ऑफ बॉलर्स. एंड विराट कोहली कर सकता था. विराट कोहली भी एक विकेट उठाया था. आई थिंक ही ब्रोक द डेडलॉक और समथिंग. विराट कोहली जस्ट केम, हालांकि वो टेस्ट लाइट ही था, बट
सेमीफाइनल में वो T20 वर्ल्ड कप.
हां,
तो हारे थे, उन्हें विकेट लिया था.
Yeah, they were nothing to play for something, and then he just came and bowled or something.
Yeah, it was the last over, second last over, I think. But yeah, I think pretty much wraps it up. Any final thoughts looking, towards tomorrow?
अब भाई जितने थॉट्स थे, बोलते ना एग्जाम में जितनी पढ़ाई कर ली सब रेडी है. अब आप पढ़ लिए. अब एग्जाम से पहले मत पढ़ो कुछ भी, सीधा जाके एग्जाम दो. आई थिंक वो सिचुएशन आ गया कि भाई अब बस टीवी खोलना बाकी है. 9:30 9 o'clock ऑब्वियसली, बिकॉज हम लोग टॉस भी देखेंगे, बट 9 o'clock से बैठ के बस दुआ करना है भाई, अगर स्पिन हो रहा है तो बस रेडी हो जाओ, 3 घंटे में अलार्म रखो, सो जाओ, सेशन खत्म हो जाएगा, बट लाइक या इट्स जस्ट गोना बी फन.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely come to after the end of play. Maybe we'll review the for day one for sure. Beach mein dekhenge towards the as the series develops, we'll try to do more videos, and we will have to anyway because there's a lot of cricket going on. But BGT ka bhi zyada content karenge. Maybe we can do something on Twitter, Instagram as well. So we'll keep you posted on that. There will be a lot of content now. So I think we'll
क्या
definitely.
सूर्या 4 या 5 दिन से अगर T20 वाले शॉट्स खेल गया लायन के सपने में, सूर्या आएगा. या
ये
डेफिनेटली
तो
लायन
सही
के
है
सपने में.
और इसलिए उसको कंसिडर
और
कर रहे
रिदम,
हैं.
आई थिंक रिदम ब्रेक करने के लिए करने वाले हैं
या
इसका,
उसको
अगर
इसलिए
सूर्या
खिला रहे
डांस
हैं
इट डाउन द विकेट. हाँ,
बिकॉज उन्हें ऋषभ पंत वैसे ही करता था लायन को, उन्हें आगे बढ़ के देता था, लायन एक्चुअली परेशान हो जाता था. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर दैट सेशन इन सिडनी व्हेन पंत
सिडनी, या
जस्ट केम डाउन द ट्रैक एंड जस्ट स्टार्टेड स्मैशिंग हिम लॉन्ग ऑन लॉन्ग, फिर उन्हें परेशान हो गया. उन्हें लायन इज लाइक इन्हें क्या कर रहा, they're supposed to be playing for a draw here, why is he hitting me? And that played with Lions mind. So I think that's why they're considering Surya. They need somebody to do that. But my question is, why can't somebody like a Rohit Sharma do that? He can potentially do that. So can Virat Kohli, so can Shubman Gill. These guys can do it as well. So
I think these guys are. I mean, I'm not taking away from Rishabh Pant anything. He is a prized wicket, but his temperament is like that naturally. I think these guys have more pressure on them when you consider a Rishabh Pant. Because Rishabh Pant wicket keeps also, so उसको कैसे भी रखना पड़ता है team. But when you talk about a Virat Kohli and a Rohit Sharma, your expectation, and I think from them also, I think they're just not those kind of players. They can do it, but I think conventionally
the
they're not
reason
like
why
that.
I back at least Rohit Sharma to do it, the reason behind that is that anyway आप defend करके out करेंगे, you're not going to survive on these pitches. It's very difficult. Like especially if it's what we're expecting it to be, you're not going to be able to do tuk tuk tuk. There's going to be one ball written with your name on it. There's no way, no two ways about it. So I think in that thing, just play more aggressive. Either way, you're going to get out. I would rather you get out hitting 40 runs rather than playing 20 deliveries and
हाँ.
not scoring a run, because you're going to get out.
But
It's not going
I
to be.
think आप वो देखो, अगर आप श्रीलंका और न्यूजीलैंड के सीरीज देखो, रोहित शर्मा has started being more aggressive in the beginning. obviously उसमें पावर प्ले रहता है, वो अलग फैक्टर्स रहते हैं डेफिनेटली, बट आई थिंक रोहित शर्मा थोड़ा उसका माइंडसेट टुवर्ड्स गेटिंग रन्स फास्टर एंड क्विकर एंड सेटलिंग डाउन इजियर के मोड में हो चुका है. बट या आई थिंक मैं जिस तरीके से देख रहा हूँ, जस्ट दैट दे मोर लाइक accustomed to playing that in a test condition maybe.
भाई
ये लायन के ऊपर. हाँ, go ahead.
भी ना बहुत प्रेशर है, अकेला प्रूवन स्पिनर है, तो एक सेशन खराब जाएगा तो उसकी भी फट जाएगी. ये है कि मगर देखो प्रेशर तो रहेगा उस पे, बिकॉज ऑल द एक्सपेक्टेशंस आर ऑन हिम. अश्विन हैज समवन लाइक अ जडेजा. लाइन कांट रियली डिपेंड ऑन एगर और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. उसको 4-5 छक्के मार दो बस.
बस वो छक्के मारने के चक्कर में घुस के विकेटा भी ले लेता वो.
तो यही है, लायन बहुत मंजावा खिलाड़ी है, बहुत एक्सपीरियंस्ड है, उन्हें बहुत स्किलफुल बॉलर है, तो उन्हें अलाउ भी नहीं करेंगे. अगर उन्हें खाया भी छक्के, उन्हें वापस आएगा. उसके पास उतना एक्सपीरियंस है. ही इज नॉट समवन की डर के भाग जाना. ही विल कम अगेन एंड ही विल पिक अप विकेट्स. उसको स्टोक्स मार रहा था गिन के लीड्स पे, राइट, विद दैट फेमस स्टोक्स इनिंग्स. व्हाट हैपेंड देन? Lion got him out, but they didn't have a DRS. They didn't have a review. Because they wasted the review. So he will come back. He will have one ball which will get your wicket, and that's why I'm not worried about Lion. Of course, I mean, from his perspective, for India, it's always going to be a threat. He's a world-class spinner. He's a world-class off spinner, and by year he's getting better. He has more experience. He's gone on 2 India tours already. So I think that it's okay, man.
जितने विकेट्स वो ले चुका है इंडिया में, जिस तरीके से he's been a nightmare for those पुजारा and like विराट कोहली and these guys. I mean उसका आप कैसा भी आप I mean जिस तरीके से वो लोग अश्विन को रखते हैं, अपन लायन को रख रहे हैं, so it आप लेवल देख लो वो, और वो लेवल में 5-4 छक्के आप मार लो. लेकिन सूर्या might do something against him if Surya plays, but he'll know how to get a Surya out 100%.
Yeah, no, but I understand where you're coming from. But on these pitches, again, the pitches are going to help him as well. You have to think of it that way. It's not going to be a flat pitch. Like I understand this at the Gabba, it worked when you attacked him, but here it's going to help him more. Kerry के आसान नहीं होगा.
केरी के लिए आसान नहीं होगा विकेट कीप करना, फर्स्ट टाइम है या 100%. बट केरी विकेट कीपर बहुत अच्छा है. अगर आप लोग आई मीन ऑस्ट्रेलिया होम कंडीशन पे ज्यादा देखे अपन उसको ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, बट उसको he has that tendency प्रिडिक्टिंग वाले भी करते हैं, एंटिसिपेट करके हट भी जाता है, उसमें है वो काबिलियत कि वो एंटिसिपेट करके पहले से पहले जाके खड़े आता कभी कभी. बट बैट्समैन भी अंशुल भाई बहुत सॉलिड है, इसलिए मेरे फैंटेसी पिक्स में
if he gets runs, Alex Carey, it'll be very productive runs because he will counter
Yeah,
attack. He has a
and
Gilchrist kind of touch to him, like in the sense that
exactly.
yeah, he tries to counter with boundaries. He will play aggressive cricket, but
He
it's
doesn't
about
slow the thing down. He doesn't slow the
yeah,
tempo नीचे नहीं
but the
करता
thing
उन्हें
is,
चलने दो बोलता. Yeah.
टेक्निकली फ्लॉज है उसमें, तो वो उन्हें एक्सप्लॉइट होगा तो
हाँ.
फिर एकदम से ही कैन गो इनटू अ रट, ही कैन गो इनटू अ रट
Yeah.
ऑफ फॉर्म वेयर ही इज नॉट स्कोरिंग रन्स एट ऑल. So it just depends on which Alex Carey comes out onto the pitch, but he is definitely that batsman that you want in the middle order who can come and counter attack, especially in these conditions where every run is valuable. You need somebody like an Alex Carey. So I think that's going to be thing. First, for me, the biggest India's biggest worry will be that tail, like from whether it's Pat Cummins, whether Ashton Agar, from starting from Alex Carey towards thing, they have to clean it up. You cannot give on these pitches, you cannot give any free runs. You cannot have like 50-run partnership at the end. It's going to cost you. You can, but if
Yeah.
you do, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, I
So
think
that's
that very well. ये सवाल काफी उठ चुका है मीडिया में इन द रीसेंट टाइम्स, लाइक रोहित शर्मा से पूछे टेल क्लियरिंग का प्रॉब्लम क्या है एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो आई थिंक दे प्रिपेयर्ड, दे नो. एंड ऑब्वियसली पास्ट में तो अपन इतनी बार देख लिया, और टेल खत्म नहीं हो रही. अपन ये चैनल पे खुद कितनी बार डिस्कस करेंगे टेल्स. आई थिंक इंडिया मेंटली आर प्रिपेयर्ड, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर आई फील अ फास्ट बॉलर लाइक सिराज विल कम इन हैंडी, जो साइकोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर गेम्स खेल के मेंटली he'll clip a wicket. तो वहां पे सिराज मेरे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वो कुछ ना कुछ वेरिएशन, कुछ ना कुछ bounce them something, he'll try doing something, and he'll get a wicket. He's done that with Liton Das in Bangladesh, and he's done that on numerous occasions कि वो कहीं ना कहीं से उन्हें निकाल लेता विकेट.
Bilkul. I think with that, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Fez. We'll catch you tomorrow. We will review the whole day, play the whole day, and we will see what happens. Eventually, there's a lot of pitch talk. Finally, we'll see what the action is saying, and and we can have a better analysis. We can understand the game a bit better. We'll know exactly what the pitch is playing like. Right now, it's all
मुंह में पानी
prediction.
आ रहा, मुंह में
खाली
पानी आ रहा.
yeah,
ये
it's all conjecture right now, but we'll understand tomorrow what the actual pitch is saying, what the form the players are in, खिलाड़ियां क्या करने वाले हैं pitch पे. That's what we're going to see. So I will catch you tomorrow with the last comment. 2017 इंग्लैंड सीरीज वाली पिच नहीं बन सकती. रन भी आए थे, रिजल्ट्स भी. हाँ, रन्स भाई दो गेम तो मेरे को याद है रन ही नहीं आए अहमदाबाद में. तो या आई थिंक पहले मैच में रन आए थे और सेकंड गेम में रैंक रन पे रोहित शर्मा मारा था, उसके बाद बिगड़ गया था पिच. आई थिंक अहमदाबाद में जो लास्ट 2 मैचेस थे उसमें तो proper rank turners the. So yeah, let's see. There will be runs on offer. It's about scoring them quick and making the most of it. If you get a chance, you continue to capitalize. Ruko nako and just marte jao. And of course, you have to pick your deliveries, but at the same time, on these kind of pitches, you got to accelerate. So let's wrap it up, Fez. See you tomorrow. Best of luck.
all of the
Enjoy the
best,
test
sir.
match.
And
And
make sure you eat well, because that's what Rohit wants.
right. Take care, guys. Have a good night.